The first Audi A7 was a real star. Great design, great technology, and great to drive. It was a car that was met with nearly universal acclaim. So what I want to find out today is whether this all-new second generation 2019 Audi A7 can live up to the high bar set by its predecessor. The A7 makes a great first impression before you even get in, especially with this fantastic light show that you get as soon as you unlock the car. It is a stunner from every angle. Now, some roadshow editors have debated whether they like the look of this second-gen A7 as much as the first version, but I think we all agree that it's one of the best-looking four-door cars on sale today. As before, the A7 is a sportback shape with a very pure and sleek design. Audi uses lights to help define the shape of this car, from the binary code inspired elements in the headlights up front and the UFO line in the taillights around back. And the tail of the car, the designers told me, is supposed to be inspired by the look of a windswept yacht, whatever that means. As with the last version, the A7 is a hatchback, and behind the second row of seats you have about as much space as in an Audi Q5 SUV. And one of my personal favorite features, it's still got a pop-up rear spoiler. As lovely as it is to look at the Audi A7, it's even more of a treat to get inside and drive it. From behind the wheel, the car has exactly the sort of control weighting and responses you'd want in a car like this. It feels very delicate and light on its feet. It's very responsive. It rides extremely well on all types of roads. That's even though mine has the optional sport suspension. That means it sits about 3/4 of an inch lower than the base A7. And it's also extremely quiet in here as well. You know, one of the most telling things for me about how quiet a car is whether I have to raise my voice and shout when we're doing these in-car segments. And in this car, I could probably pretty much whisper to you. It's quick too, with a 3-litre turbocharged V6 that sends 335 horsepower and 369 pound-feet of torque through a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission. Quattro all-wheel drive is standard, which is much appreciated on a snowy day like today in February. 0 to 60 takes just 5.2 seconds, and this engine has so much torque all through the rev range. However, there are times when it takes a beat before you get that power. You put your foot down, and you have to wait as the transmission downshifts and the turbo spools up a little bit. If you really need instant responsiveness, putting it in sport mode definitely helps. This engine also has a 48-volt mild hybrid system. That helps save just a little bit of fuel, and it makes those stop-start operations at traffic lights a little smoother. In fact, with that system, this car can actually turn the engine off before you even come to a complete stop at a traffic light. Now, the inside of the Audi A7 is just as gorgeous as the outside. I absolutely adore the design, the open pore wood, the brushed metal all throughout the cabin. At night, it looks like an Art Deco wonder. There are 30 different colors for all of the interior ambient lighting, although I don't know that I necessarily need a light-up Quattro badge on the dash. I really like these seats. They're incredibly supportive and comfortable. And with this bright, crisp 12.3-inch full digital instrument cluster in front of me, well, I've got all the information I could need right in my line of sight. The dashboard design is incredibly clean and uncluttered. The center stack is canted slightly towards the driver, which I definitely appreciate as the driver. As you can see, there are almost no buttons or switches anywhere inside the cabin. Instead, you control pretty much everything through these two giant touchscreens. Now, there is so much cool new technology, especially with these touchscreens, that I could make an entire video just on that. And in fact, I have. If you want the full rundown on the infotainment systems, be sure to go check out our separate Tech Check video. But because the MMI touch response system is so integral to how the A7 drives, and because we gave it a Roadshow Shift Award, I do want to run you through some of the basics about how it works. At the top is a 10.1-inch touchscreen. This controls all your basic infotainment features. This is things like the Google Maps satellite navigation, the phone calling, the radio, all of your vehicle settings. Down below, the 8.6-inch touchscreen you see here runs the climate controls, or when I'm entering an address in the navigation or searching for a phone number, it turns into a writing pad or a keyboard. Now, you may expect that having two big touchscreens in the car is very distracting, but these ones are set up and work so well that I actually think it's one of my favorite in-car systems available today. There's also an incredible amount of active safety technology in the Audi A7. In fact, we also awarded Audi a Roadshow Shift Award for the special advanced driver assist features that are in this car. Now again, you can get more details on all those technologies in our tech check video, but suffice it to say there's an advanced central processor that takes input from up to 24 external sensors to keep you safe while on the road. And of course, the Audi A7 is incredibly luxurious and it's loaded to the hilt with all the features you might expect from a luxury car. Things like that big sunroof, a lovely Bang & Olufsen sound system, heated and cooled seats, wireless phone charging, the list goes on and on. It probably goes without saying though that a luxury car like this doesn't come cheap. The 2019 Audi A7 starts at about $69,000. The one I'm driving right now has an as-tasted price of $83,000, which is certainly a lot, but when you consider all the features that this car has, well, I think I'd be happy to pay that number. So the 2019 Audi A7 is gorgeous to behold, lovely to drive, packed with futuristic technology, and because it's got all-wheel drive and it's a hatchback, it's even quite practical. If I was shopping for a luxury car today, this is the one I'd want.